Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the Tunenge S5. First of all, thank you to the manufacturer for sending this along. They did provide this review sample, however they did not provide any financial compensation, nor did they have any input into my thoughts or the creation of this review. They simply provided the product, and all thoughts are my own after testing this product. Now let's go ahead and jump into a size comparison, starting off with Channel Staples, a 58 and 91mm Simon knife. Overall, this is rather compact for the size. Here we have a AA and a AAA. This is a AA or 14500 based light. Girth comparison. And as a bit of a size comparison, let's go for some, I guess, competitors. This is the Sofan F1. Obviously, this is a Zoomy with a tail switch, not exactly the same thing. And this is an i5R, another 14500 light. And into a product overview. So we have a half-milled tube body with some nice accents, stainless steel on the button and the clip. The clip is two-way reversible to mount it to a clip to the brim of a cap if you would like to go hands-free that way. We have a USB-C port underneath a rubber flappy. And as far as the evil of rubber flappies go, this is actually rather well designed. We have a little bit of an indentation there for you to get your fingernail underneath the flap, and you don't end up with anything proud. We have a magnetic tail. The stainless button has a little bit of concentric knurling to it, and there is an inlaid power notification LED. And then we have a tier style optic up front. This does come included with a 14500 Tunenge branded. You can also run this on AA's should you want. Obviously, the lower voltage is going to affect the brightness and runtimes. And something rather satisfying about this light, as you can see this mark here, always lines up tail and body. That is very satisfying, I must say. Now going to jump into the brightness and runtimes of the Tunenge S5. Feel free to pause and read through, and it is worth noting that these brightness and runtimes are for the included 14500, so they do not provide any stats for AA's, although it is supported. Just assume that it's going to be less bright, but probably operating for a longer time. This has a moonlight mode of 3 lumens for 168 hours, a low of 30 lumens for 18 hours, a medium mode of 120 lumens for 6 hours. It's very noisy. The cat has gotten away from me. A high mode of 420 lumens for 5 hours, and a turbo mode output of 1400 lumens. It says 4 hours, however there is also going to be a dim or a step down after a bit of thermal throttling. Going on into the UI of the Tunenge S5, it is worth knowing that this does have mode memory, and this will actually memorize moonlight mode. So moonlight mode, you're just going to press and hold till the light comes on, and then you're just going to press and hold to step through the brightnesses. So low, medium, high, double click into turbo, and then it'll step back down to high as turbo is not memorized. If we want to go into any of our fancy disco modes, so this is going to be a flashing warning. It's just going to be a simple triple click. Triple clicking again will switch you into SOS mode or back to strobe. And for lockout, this is similar to the OLED UI, where pressing and holding until it comes on and goes off again will put it into lockout. And to unlock, you just press and hold until you come into moonlight mode. Going into the pros of the Tunenge S5, right off the bat it has to be the combination of build quality and price. This is very, very well machined. This feels like a premium product. The little design considerations, such as the markers to show that it's lining up the same way, this little indent making the rubber flappy not as awful. the contrasting design elements, which is, there's a personal preference. I like this kind of contrast accent color ever since I had a Through Night T10, I want to say, many years ago. That has greatly appealed to me. But this light is only about, I think, 13-15 pounds. It is incredibly cheap, especially since it comes included with a battery. For the build quality you get, that is kind of crazy, and it does come included, of course, with a charging cable. But they also include a couple of silicone diffusers as well, one red, one orange. Just slides on the top, and then you can use this for marking, signaling, slap this on the side of the car if you break down, that kind of thing. So including accessories like this at this build quality at this price, including 14500 battery, that's just... And the cat has been banished to go eat some delicious kibble. But yeah, for the price, the design considerations, the build quality, the accessories you're getting here is outstanding. This does feel like a quality light that will last for a long time. The range of brightnesses you get are really well spaced out. So as a reminder again, so we have a moonlight of 3 lumens. I do prefer a 1 lumen moonlight. However, this is still adequately dim. And for beam shots, there will be a card up here. Topping out at a 1400 lumen turbo. It's going to be excellent for your pocket rocket, blasting a path that you want to walk down. Great for looking under a desk, all those kinds of things. The range of modes here is excellent. In terms of carrying, you're going to end up with about this much of the light sticking out, which with a magnetic tail, not always the greatest thing, but it is generally par for the course with the lights. So, it is what it is there. I do think that overall, the design here is excellently suited for EDC purposes. This would go great in a little pouch. This would also go well in an office carry if you want to throw this in a pair of slacks or something similar. And for the cons, there isn't really much here. This does have a rubber flap covering the USB-C port, but it is a better designed one. However, it is worth noting that that will always perish at some point and break off if it doesn't get caught and ripped off in the meantime. I think the largest negatives here are going to be not having the step down information in the manual, which is unfortunately quite common. I can't ding them that much for that. And just the brand awareness itself. When I receive emails from manufacturers wanting me to check stuff out, I do tend to look into them a little bit, and I'd never heard of Tunenge before, and when you don't hear of a random brand, it does make you feel like it's going to be random, mass-produced, well, everything's mass-produced, but random, poorly produced. So when I received something that was this high quality, I was genuinely impressed. This is an outstanding EDC option that I think a lot of people miss out on because it's a name that they're not familiar with. That's par for the course in today's environment when you have these smaller, lesser known brands popping up. However, it is a great shame because overall there isn't really anything negative I can say about this. This is a very solid, very reasonably priced EDC option that will work for pretty much everybody. I have slightly above average size hands, and this works quite well. If you have particularly large hands, it might get lost a little bit, but for most people, this is going to work excellently as an EDC option, and I can strongly recommend it. Again, the brand, not being familiar with them, might put you off, but as far as I can see with my experience with this unit in particular, Tunenge is a brand that has strongly gotten my interest, and I think you'll definitely see more of them on this channel, even if I have to purchase the samples myself. So that's just what I think. Have you purchased a light from Tunenge before? Are you interested in the S5? Have I missed any cons that you would like to see included in future reviews? Let me know in the comment section down below. Whilst you're down there, I would greatly appreciate a subscribe and a like. It does help the channel, and if you would like to support the channel more directly, please consider a Patreon membership, YouTube membership, or a coffee donation. But until next time, I've been Paul. This has been the Tunenge S5, and I'll see you in the next video.